Welcome back to Little Orphan Annie and the $1 Million Formula. Today we're reading Chapter 10. Eonite. Well, Eli, old friend, I've got great news for you, said Daddy Warbucks enthusiastically one day, shortly afterwards, clasping the old man by the shoulder in a friendly manner. Ha ha, hee hee hee. Did Slug get hit by lightning? Retorted Eli. Ha ha, no, nothing like that, laughed Daddy. But the factory is finished. We're ready to start production at last. I knew you could do it, applauded Eli. You're a businessman, a go-getter. Nothing can stop you. Well, it's taken longer than I planned, Daddy replied modestly. The little trouble we had slowed us up, but at last we're ready to make the stuff. I've been wondering what we'll call it. We gotta call it something, the old man speculated. Yes, I've been thinking of that too. It must be a name that fits the product. Daddy was thinking too. Well, I guess if we make it, we can name it, eh? said Eli, chuckling. The day production was actually started. Daddy was very busy with the crowds of people who had been invited for the opening. And Annie and Sandy walked over to Eli's laboratory, as the girl wanted someone to talk with. But the old man wasn't about. Wonder where old Eli could be, Sandy. I thought sure he'd be here. I wanted to tell him again how glad I am that they decided to name the stuff Eonite after him. Great Scott, she exclaimed, looking out the door. Looky, Sandy, here he comes now, and does he look mad? Confound all those big industrialists, fellers, trying to make a hero out of me. Hundreds of them. The factory's crawling with them. All here to see the first Eonite produced. As he roared, Eli snatched his tall silk hat off and was now ripping off the tailcoat and cravat which Daddy Warbucks had insisted he wear for the big occasion. Annie was quite overcome at his indignance. And the reporters drive me crazy, asking fool questions and taking my picture, making me dress up like a blasted monkey. Why don't they just leave me alone? But Eli, said the girl, a little timidly, think of all the fame. You ought to be proud and happy. I am happy, always happy when I can be getting something done, but I've got no time for folderols like this fame. Bah, snapped Eli scornfully. Newspapers were full of the story of Eonite, and everywhere folks were discussing it. Eonite lasts forever, read one. Baloney, how can anything last forever? Just a get-rich scheme, an advertising stunt, agreed his listeners. People mocked both Daddy Warbucks and Eli Eon, certain that Eonite could not possibly be all they claimed it to be. But Eonite, it seemed, had already had one practical test. So it was a vest made of Eonite that Punjab was wearing when he stopped all those machine gun bullets. Gasped Annie in astonishment one day when the old man had confided this little secret to her as he was working in his laboratory. Hee hee hee, laughed Eli, very much pleased with himself. I made it thin as paper and soft as rubber. After all my bragging, I'd have felt pretty silly if it hadn't stopped those bullets. Guess Punjab wouldn't have felt so good either. But it worked, and I knew it would. Folks won't believe half the things Eonite will do, but they'll just have to find out. Toughest, hardest stuff in the world. An inch of Eonite will stop more than 3 feet of armor plate. People are funny, he continued. They believe the craziest things, but sneer and laugh at something real like Eonite. It's human nature to guess wrong, maybe. I don't know, too deep for me. Later that day, Annie was playing with her toy cannon, a short distance from the lean-to. "Look out, Sandy," she exclaimed. "You be general and stay back out of danger. I'm just a private, see? That means I'm right up front." She lit the fuse and leaped back, with her hands clamped over her ears, shouting, "Whee!" as the powder exploded. Bing! Eli threw open the laboratory door. "Wow, did you hear that, Eli?" asked the girl. "Hear it? He. Bet I jumped 2 feet. Say, that toy cannon looks like a French 75. Good guns they were in their day, but they're all out of date now. Eonites made all guns as out of date as bows and arrows. Why, a toy cannon like that, made out of Eonite, would be as strong enough to shoot 30 miles. Gee, was all Annie could say. Still almost incredible. Annie questioned Daddy after dinner. "Is it really true? Will Eonite do all the things they claim?" "Yes, Annie," Daddy assured her. "It will revolutionize the civilized world. It's transparent as glass, but will take any color. Many times stronger than steel. Neither acid, heat, time, nor weather affects Eonite in the least," he went on. "Eonite will be used to replace everything built or used by man, from buildings to dishes." "Eli says a toy cannon made of Eonite would shoot 30 miles. Annie was still a little doubtful. "Probably," answered Daddy. "The nation which possesses Eonite will have nothing to fear from foreign foes. Any ship made of Eonite would be non-sinkable." "Oh, it's great stuff, Annie. Is it any wonder Slug was willing to go to any lengths to get the secret?" "Gee, now that people know about it, other folks will want it too," remarked the child prophetically. Join me next time for Chapter 11, Daddy Stands Pat. Thank you for watching. See you next time.